Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel BI with Pooja. If you are preparing for a Power BI interview and you have around 2 to 5 years of experience, this video is for you. So today's I will be going through the top 10 real life scenario based Power BI interview questions which are commonly asked in the interviews in 2026, and I will explain what interviewers are actually looking for and how you can answer these questions with very confidence. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Question number 1 is, can we build a Power BI report or a dashboard directly into Power BI service? Are there any limitations? So answer is yes, we can build a report and the dashboard directly in a Power BI service. First thing, we need to upload a dataset or publish the semantic model to the Power BI service. For example, we can upload a Power BI file or import the data into Power BI service. Once this is done, dataset is available. We can create a new report by adding visuals, chart, filters, slicers. So yes, we can also create a dashboard by pinning the visuals from the one or more reports. However, there are some limitations, like we cannot use the Power Query transformations for a data cleaning. Also, we cannot create or change the relationship of a model, like while changing the relationship we cannot do that. So yes, we can usually use the Power BI desktop for data preparation, data modeling, DAX, and the Power BI report development. Then we can use the Power BI service to publish the report, to share the report, and maintain the security, also for schedule the refresh and for the dashboarding. So yes, Power BI desktop is used for building the Power BI, and Power BI service is used for collaborating with the users, maintaining the security and the refresh. But still we can create a report directly into Power BI service. Question number 2. If two developers are working on the same Power BI report, how would you collaborate to avoid the conflict? And the answer is, if two developers are working on the same report, first thing, we need to do the divide of work clearly. For example, one developer can work on the Power Query, data modeling, or a DAX measures, while other developer can work on the report pages, visuals, and the formatting. We also avoid making changes to the same report or a page at the same time, because it can overwrite each other works. So we can communicate regularly, test our changes before merging them, and also use the version control such as Git or SharePoint, OneDrive version history. So good communication, clear task division, and I will say version control will help us to avoid a conflict and work effectively together. I can divide We can divide the works, avoid editing the same page and the same time. Yeah, all this thing we need to do. Question number 3 is, if your Power BI report has an issue after the development is complete, what you will check the first? And the answer is, the first thing I will do is I will understand the issue. We'll check whether it is the data issue, whether it is the report issue, or the performance issue. If the data is incorrect, we'll verify the source data, then the refresh status, then the relationship, and the DAX measure. If the visuals are not working as expected, we'll check the filters, slicers, visual interaction, and any recent changes that I might made into the report. Yeah, if a report is slow, we'll check the model size, DAX calculations, and use the performance analyzer to identify the slow visuals or a query. So I don't start fixing the report immediately. First, I will identify the root cause and then we'll try to troubleshoot the specific issues. Question number 4. Can you explain me your experience on a Power BI governance site? And the answer is yes. I have worked on the Power BI governance that include managing the Power BI workspaces, assigning the users role and the permission. Then I also worked on the implementing the row level security. Also, I have worked on the managing the dataset refresh schedule and monitor the refresh failure. Then configuring and managing the on-premise gateway. Then publishing the report to the appropriate workspace. Create and manage the Power BI apps for the end users. Manage the build permission on the semantic model that is on the data set. Also following the naming conversion for the report dataset and the workspace, controlling the report and share the user access. Also deployment pipeline, like supporting the development from the development to test and then to the production, ensuring the data security and follow the governance best practices. So all these things I have worked on as an Power BI on the Power BI governance. Question number 5. How would you implement a last end day filter in a Power BI? And the answer is there are two ways to implement this. So first way is if the requirement is fixed. For example, if you wanted to always show the last 30 days, then you can make use of relative date filter option, and you just need to drag and drop the date field into the filter pane. Then you need to select the relative date option. Then you need to choose the is in the last day, is in the last, and then days you need to select. Okay, after that this will update automatically every days without writing any tags. And second way to implement is the dynamic way, where user can choose the number of days themselves. So for this you need to go to the modeling tab. Then you need to create a new parameter using the numeric range option. And after this this will create a discontinued table. After that you need to create one DAX measures using the selected value DAX function. It will simply capture the value selected by the users and then it compare with the today's date. So finally you need to apply the filter. So you need to put this measure into visual level filter, and you need to say keep only one value as in 1. So yes, for fixed requirement you can make use of relative date, or for a dynamic requirement you can make use of numeric range parameter using the selected value DAX function. Question number 6. How would you find out the top 3 products by sales in each category in a Power BI? And the answer is there are multiple way to do this. And first and the simplest approach is to find out this using the top n filter. So we can apply the top n filter on the product field, enter the 3 and use the measures, total sales measures. However, this will return the top 3 product overall, not the top 3 within each category. Yes, so if the requirement is to find out the product in each category, best approach is to use the RANKX DAX function. First, you need to create a sales measures like total sales measure. Then you need to create a rank measure using the RANKX function to rank the products based on the sales within each category. Finally, apply the visual filter where the rank is less than or equals to 3. Again, if the business want a user to choose the top end dynamically, so we need to follow the same method as in question number 5. We need to create a new parameter from the modeling, then you need to use the numeric range, then you need to use the selected value DAX with the ranks function, and then you can apply the result onto the visual level filter. So this will allow the user to choose the top 3, top 5, top 10 products from the slicer. So this is how you can implement. Question number 7. What does the calendar auto in bracket 6 means in a Power BI? So you can give the answer like this. Calendar auto is the DAX function that automatically create a date table by scanning all the date column in the data model, and the number inside the bracket represent the last month of the financial year. This is very important. You need to mention this 6 means the last month of the financial year. So calendar auto 6 means the financial year ends in a June. As the result, the date table is created based on the July to June financial year. For example, if your data contains the dates from let's say from the August 2024 to February 2026, calendar auto 6 will generate the calendar from the 1st of July 2024 to 30 of June 2026, so that complete financial year are included. If the financial years end in the March, you would use calendar auto 3. If it follow the calendar year ending in the December, you can make use of calendar auto 12. So yeah, this is very simple. Calendar auto 6 means automatically create a date table where the 6 means financial year ends in a June, so the calendar is generated from July. Question number 8. I have published the report to the Power BI service. User have a viewer access, but they can still see the field pane and make the changes to the report, and I don't want them to edit anything. How would you handle it? So answer to this question, guys, please make a note here. This if you give the answer properly to this question, it means you are clearing the interview, means I will say you are very close to clear the answer. This is very practical and scenario based question. So first thing, I will check, so you can give the answer like this. First thing I will check is whether the user have only viewer access or if they have a build permission on the semantic model. Okay, this is very important. Viewer access alone does not allow user to edit the original report, but if they have the build permission, they can create their own report using the same semantic model, which is why they can see the field pane. So to avoid this, first verify that user have only the viewer role in the workspace. Second, remove the build permission from the semantic model if they don't need it. Instead of that, giving the user direct access to the workspace, share the report through the Power BI app. This is the recommended approach because user can view and interact with the report, but they cannot edit it. Also, make sure they are not assigned the member, contributor or admin role. This will ensure user can only view and interact with the report while the report design and model remain the protected. So this is how you can answer this. Question number 9. I have a Power BI report page with a multiple visuals, and when I clicked on the icon, I don't want to navigate to the another page. Instead of that, I want the same page to be filtered. How I can do this in a Power BI? So you can answer to this question like this. um, there are multiple ways to achieve this depending on the requirement. First approach is to use the bookmark. You can create a required filter, save them as a bookmark, then add an icon or a button, and then you need to enable the action property. Set the action type as a bookmark, and then select the user, then select the bookmark you created. Okay, now when user clicked on the icon, a report states on the same page and the visuals are updated based on the saved bookmark. And the second way to do this, format the slicer to look like the button or a icon, and when the user clicked on the option, slicer filter all the visuals on the same page. If the icon represent the visuals, Power BI cross filter and cross highlight option is there, also can be used. So clicking on the visual automatically filter the another visuals on the same page. So yes, the approach depend on the requirement. If the icon represent the predefined view or a bookmarks are the best option. If user need to filter the data dynamically, slicer or the visual interaction is the best choice. Question number 10. If I have a user from the 8 different region and I want to apply the RLS based on the region, do I need to create a 8 different role, or with a single role I can achieve this? So answer to this question, no, there is no need to create a 8 different role. A single dynamic RLS role is enough. So first thing, you need to create a user security table or a user mapping table, which will have the details like user email, then address, and their assigned or a respective region. Next step, you need to create a relationship between your user mapping table and your data model based on the common key column. Third step, you need to create a role using the modeling, then create a role option is there. So you can create a role, and for that you can make use of user principal name DAX function. So your DAX will be like this: user mapping, this is your table, under the column name can be email, and then the user principal name. So after publishing the report, assign all the user to the single role into the Power BI service. This option is available into the dataset, say semantic model, then the security, then you can assign the role to the user. And when user open the report, Power BI will check the user's email using the user principal name to find out the matching region in their security table. So automatically it will filter the data. This way one role can securely handle all the 8 different region. This is the end of today's video. I hope these questions and answer help you in your Power BI interview preparation. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Also, please don't forget to share this with your friends or colleagues who are preparing for the Power BI interviews. Thank you so much for watching.